Hey lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. Don't mind my voice being a bit raspy. I was actually a bit concerned whether I would be able to make this video because my voice was way worse some days ago. I'm so excited to jump into this week's video because I feel that as much as we do think that making or doing specific things will take us closer to our goals, like exactly changing habits or letting go of some habits, or maybe like journaling and visualizing, just like actively doing these things, I still feel that equally important is you clearing out your blockages. And for me, it was such a long road because I actually didn't think that there was any blockages that needed to be cleared, which was just my unawareness of my past and how it affected me in the present moment that I was living in. So it took me some time to actually be able to pinpoint some of the blockages and old beliefs before I was able to change them. This is a continuum of a 4-week series, and in this video we're starting off the 3rd week, which is all about blockages, the belief systems and negative memories that we might have that are blocking us from moving forward. Like for example, if you have some sort of negative outlook on money or negative beliefs about what you can do as an individual, like what are your possibilities, creating yourself, changing yourself, or the things that you're able to do. If you have beliefs that you're not worthy enough, you will be transmitting that to the people around you. So changing the beliefs that are blocking us from really elevating ourselves, it's such an essential step to take. And that's what we're going to be diving in this week. I wanted to share some steps that worked for me. I had such a low self-image about myself. I was always also thinking that I was just not worthy of being better or changing my habits, creating any wealth or a stable income without working super hard. I've been covering the same topic in my other videos because I really think this is one of the most life-changing things that I learned for myself. I never really thought that it was possible for me. I always thought that I would have to go through massive amounts of therapy or really like diving deeper in who I was and how to fix that in a way. And exactly that, I felt like I needed to fix myself in some way. But then I learned about EFT tapping, which is a short term for emotional freedom techniques. It is tightly connected to Chinese medicine and it was invented in the 90s by Gary Craig. And it's literally you tapping throughout different meridian points that you have in your body. And these are the same points that are also very relevant to acupuncture therapy. And what EFT does, it releases stress from your body, it releases anxiety and negative emotions. You go through these meridian points, which you have here at the side of your hand. You have one on your forehead, on the top of your head, and on your temples, on your cheeks, your upper lip, your chin, on your collarbone. Also, sometimes I like to do it here on my rib. In doing EFT, you want to cover specific thoughts that you have. And the point in doing EFT is that you're releasing these negative connections that you have to specific thought patterns or beliefs that you have. For example, when I had a very low self-esteem, I started to do EFT on being more worthy, being more loving and compassionate towards myself. I will do another video fully covering EFT, but in short, when you're doing EFT, you should be either covering the thoughts that you already have. So let's say, for example, if you do think that you're not worthy, you might be saying, sometimes I think I am not worthy. So you are confirming this thought and you're saying it out loud so that it's not only on your thought level, but you're actually accepting this thought. When you're doing EFT, your body becomes more receptive towards what you are affirming and saying. In doing EFT, what I actually like to do is at some point in the beginning, I might be confirming these negative thoughts and beliefs that I have. Then I will be moving on to positive affirmations. So let's say you would say, sometimes I feel I'm not worthy, but I know that deep down I am as worthy as anyone else. So you're actually moving from this negative belief to a more positive one. And you're able to come up with these affirmations. You don't really need a list for this. We'll be adding a list of affirmations that you can use on topics like self-worth, your feelings around abundance and prosperity. And when you are doing EFT, it's really important that you firstly relax your body. So relax your nervous system. If you feel anxious or super jittery, I suggest that you just sit down. You don't have to go into a meditative state, but just sit down, calm yourself down, and then start this tapping. You can do it as many rounds as you want. You start from the top of your head and then you move down. And at the same time, you're repeating these positive affirmations. And when you are done with this round, you go back again and you can repeat the affirmations or start a new set of affirmations. One thing is, you do not need to really figure out which affirmations to use. You can mix them up. You can create your own EFT tapping routine or like a system where you repeat the same things every day over and over again and really get your mind into accepting the affirmations that you're repeating. You can also have days off. You don't need to like do this every day. But what I did in the beginning was that I started to do this daily because I knew that my beliefs were so messed up in a way, and my beliefs were also very stubborn. I felt like it was so difficult for me to change them, and that's why I started on with really intensely going into this whole EFT, like intensely wanting to change the thought patterns that I had. So I started to do just daily EFT, but like in everything, less is more. So create a routine that you can stick to. Pick topics that you feel are the most difficult for you. So understanding again, what are the things that are sort of like hindering you or slowing you down. If you feel that you're constantly doubting yourself or second guessing your own judgment or beliefs or dreams, you should definitely be working on your self-worth and your self-image. So repeating positive affirmations about yourself and how you see the world and how capable you are to do things that you want to do. Another thing that we're going to be covering during this week is mirror work. First, I started with just saying affirmations to myself while I was, watching out the window. I was just repeating things that I thought were working for me, and on some degree they definitely were. There's different sorts of mirror work, but the one that I like to do was saying affirmations to myself and looking at myself in the mirror. You can also combine EFT with these mirror affirmations, but just for the sake of being more clear throughout this video, I wanted to separate them, but you can also combine them, and later in this video I'm going to show you how. How I started to do mirror work was that I was just intensely watching myself. I feel that a big difference in mirror work is that whenever we are looking ourselves in the mirror, and if we feel good about ourselves, we just did our hair or we have a nice outfit on, we might feel that it's way more easier to look into our eyes and say positive things about ourselves because we might actually like what we're seeing. But I suggest that you start from the opposite side. So you can start by doing this whenever you, let's say, wake up and you haven't even looked yourself in the mirror. So you want to start by looking at yourself and accepting what you see. This took some time for me to accept what I was seeing and what I was saying and actually believing what I was saying to myself. And firstly, you can start by looking at yourself in the mirror and just saying things like, I'm capable of everything that I desire. I am capable of doing the things that I dream of. I am capable and worthy of my dreams. I'm amazing. I'm confident. I'm beautiful. And it can be anything. It can be really very simple things that will lift your spirits and also lift your self-esteem. Very simple things that sometimes we have difficulties in saying, not to only others, but especially ourselves. And you can start by doing these things and just looking yourself in the mirror, and you can do this again from 1 minute to even 5 minutes, and you don't have to create a very extensive routine out of this, but sitting with these thoughts and looking at yourself, even if what you are saying doesn't really make sense in the beginning, but once you continue doing this, you will see the difference in how you view yourself and how you feel within your own body. And once you feel that you have kind of mastered EFT and also mirror work, you can add EFT into doing your mirror work. So in this case, you would be looking at yourself in the mirror and you would be tapping while you would be saying these affirmations. For me, this was one of the most powerful ways of clearing blockages, clearing very negative beliefs about myself around money and finances, and also just overall my view and outlook on life. So if you feel that whatever you've been manifesting, or if you have tried to change the way you see the world, or if you feel like you've tried a lot of different things and you haven't really seen any manifestations coming into fruition, there might be something to do with your belief system. And in this case, I highly suggest that you try out either EFT or doing mirror work, or even better, combining them both. I was also always wondering why it took me so long to change my belief system, to see things differently and also to vibrationally align with what I wanted to have, because my body just couldn't and wouldn't believe what I was trying to affirm to it. One more thing that I didn't add in the last video, which I also thought was quite important, was intentional movement. Intentional movement in this case, I mean all sorts of exercise and moving your body through walking, exercise at the gym, or dancing, even doing yoga, because I feel like yoga is such a calming but also very powerful form of exercise to do to really elevate yourself. Because let's face it, there isn't a greater feeling than working out and coming out of a workout and then feeling amazing in your body. So whatever form of exercise or movement you enjoy, add that to your non-negotiables. Then the last thing that I wouldn't call intentional movement, but it is a sort of movement that was such a helpful tool for me to clear some blockages that I had, because I was doing EFT, I was doing mirror work, I was doing affirmations, all of that, and there were still some things that I couldn't really clear off. And this is where I started reading Energy Codes by Dr. Susan Morter, and it just blew my mind, because I understood that we have chakra points in our body, and if the energy is not flowing freely throughout our body, it will flow not freely, which will then create ripples in your energy field. And this made so much sense, because when I read about this, I understood that this was actually what was probably happening to me, because I felt like energy was not clearly moving throughout my body, and I wasn't really sure what to do about it, because I felt like I could be doing all sorts of therapy, EFT, everything, but I knew that there was something deeper that I couldn't really access. And I started to do best release, which is one form of energy clearing in this Energy Codes book. She's explaining the exercise very well in the book, but also on her website. So I suggest that if you feel that intentional movement through traditional exercise or movement through, let's say, yoga isn't really helping, or you feel somehow that your body feels still a bit stuck, or like there's blockages that you cannot clear through these exercises that I previously mentioned, I suggest that you read the Energy Codes book and try out the exercises that Susan suggests. There's really great demonstration videos on her website, which also helped me to understand better how to do the exercises. Yeah, because blockages are so difficult to clear, and you can be doing something for a long period of time and there still might not be a visible change, because the change will just happen over time when it sort of becomes like a habit of yours. Clearing blockages is not only about you doing it once, it's a constant practice where you clear out things that you're attaching yourself in your daily life. Once you're more trained to clear your energy, you're able to shift your beliefs, and through that you're more open to actual change. I hope that you stayed till the end and enjoyed this video. And again, I would love to hear how you've been experiencing this challenge and what kind of changes you've been seeing. I'll be seeing you next week.